just a heads up, I was pretty tired when I was filming this, or putting together this video, and both Kelsey and Levi are both sleeping, so probably not the best video ever, but it was still, I still wanted to just get it done, so there's a record of the Colorado trip. So anyways, here we go. Hey, this is Isaac from Hunk Smash Fitness. Just got back from Colorado with my wife and little boy. We just spent several days there visiting her mom, and that was a lot of fun. But first off, I wanted to talk a bit about, I've been doing a lot more research into Wim Hof's breathing method, as well as Brian McKenzie. They've both done a bunch of work with breathing. So I guess my interest first got piqued when I was in training with the Navy, and they taught us a 4x4 breathing method. And did it for a little while, never really pursued it that much. Basically the concept is you breathe in for 4 counts, hold your breath for 4 counts, breathe out for 4 counts, and then hold that exhale out for 4 counts again. Pretty basic, pretty straightforward. You can use it as a calming tool method. But anyway, so I've been playing around with that a little bit more. Wim Hof has a lot that shows that it can really be beneficial with dealing with the cold, dealing with fatigue, things like that. It can help reset your body in a way. So I've been playing with that a little bit more, and I thought it was really interesting because last time I went to Colorado, just because of the altitude difference going, changing from sea level to a mile up, I found that I would get short of breath when I would lift or do anything like that. And this time I didn't. I ended up doing some a pretty good deadlift workout where I worked up to 535 on the deadlift for triples, and I didn't get gassed in the way that I have in the past. And 535 isn't super heavy, but it's heavy enough where I should be feeling it at least, I think, especially with the change in altitude, and I didn't, which I thought was really cool. There were a lot of other issues. I was lifting at a commercial gym, so there was no belt or straps or chalk or anything like that, and the bar had basically no knurling on it, and so it was really slippery, so I had to reset every time I picked it up, put it back down, had to reset again. But it was really interesting because I'd do my 3 reps, and then I could feel like I was a little bit short of breath, like it was getting tight in my chest, and I'd rest for a bit, do some 4x4 breathing, and usually by about the 2nd breath, I was feeling pretty good. So I thought that was really interesting just because in my own personal experience, it really seems to be effective, and I think it's something that is worth looking into if you're interested in that. Brian McKenzie goes, and he does more of a, you breathe in for 6 seconds, hold it for 6 seconds, breathe out for 12, and then hold that for 6 seconds. And so there's different things like that you can do that can help train your lungs and help your body adapt to CO2, but without stealing all their thunder. I mean, I think that's something that you should look up yourself. They have a lot more going into it. I'm just barely touching on the method. I just thought it was really interesting though, because just with playing with it a little bit, I've already noticed the difference. So if you're feeling like your lung capacity is holding you back from anything, I think it would be worth your while to look into. And then also just with cold adaptation, it helps a ton. I've done that numerous times in the past where it'll be snowing or something, and I'm the type of person who I like to wear shorts year round, and I usually run really, really warm anyways, but if I do start getting cold, I can just start some 4x4 breathing, and within a couple breaths your body warms right back up. It's something I definitely think it's something that is worthwhile looking into if you're, like I said, if you're interested in anything like that. Or of course, you can always just throw on more jackets. But yeah, so there was that. Other than that, the trip was pretty fun. It was really nice to not have to work during the trip. Last several trips that we've had to do down to San Diego and such have all been work related, and so I've ended up working the whole time. And Kelsey's had fun because she's been able to just hang out. But it was really nice having a trip where I could just hang out and go and do stuff as well, and not have to be in class and all that. Yeah, did the deadlift session. Actually, the day that we got there, so we flew a red eye. Because last time we flew with our baby, he didn't really sleep very much the night before, and then when we got an early morning flight, we ended up not really sleeping on the flight at all either, and so it just turned into this really, really long day or 2-day period of no sleep. So we decided to try a red eye this time, and that was actually worked out pretty well. So if you're traveling with a baby, I would say look into doing a red eye. There's a lot of different things. Make sure you have a pacifier and all that sort of stuff, but I'm not going to get into a lot of the baby tricks on flying. But it worked out pretty well. The only downside was we got back. I took a quick nap and then I went and lifted, and my body was definitely very fatigued by all the traveling and everything. But yeah, that was pretty fun. And it was nice to see that improvement in my lung capacity and my body's ability to adapt to the altitude and everything. We also went to the Pro Rodeo Hall of Fame. That was pretty fun. One of the guys that I met a little while back is Will Loomis, and he's a professional steer wrestler. And so it was really cool just looking into the Pro Rodeo Hall of Fame and seeing all that side of it as well, which I've always found interesting, but now that I know someone that does it, it's that much more interesting. So that was pretty cool. And then I also got to meet Brian Shaw while I was over there, and that was probably one of the highlights of the trip. He ended up doing a meet and greet about an hour away from where we were, and so we were able to drive over there and get to meet him. He's one of the few people that actually makes me feel pretty small. I'm 6'4", 6'5", and a little under 300 pounds, and he's 6'8" and 400 something pounds. I'll post some pictures that we took, maybe a little bit of video. I think we got some video footage of that too. We tried to have the camera with us and tried to take some video footage. This is all really new to both of us, and so it was hard to hard to remember to have the camera with us when we were out doing things, and we kept forgetting it everywhere. So didn't get a lot of footage, but what we did have I'll include. So anyways, yeah, finally back from Colorado, getting back into the routine of everything, and yeah, getting ready to hit it next week. So I hope you guys are doing well, and just remember, always improve that 1%.
Come on, Levi, let's go! Let's go!
Come on back.
Whoa!
Hi, sweetie.
In pen number 2, we have Levi! Levi, you gotta come here! He's like, I've got a hat. No, this is too much fun. So,
You have a
Levi,
nice pepper? Tell us about your vacation.
tell me about the Hall of Fame. What was that?